Naam, he mentioned hadith, Murru abana'akum bi salat li sab'ah. Order your children to pray at 7. وَضْرِبُوهُمْ عَلَيْهَا لِعَشْرَةٍ. And spank them for it at 10. And separate their beds. Now, the Sheikh, he says, what does it mean when you order your child to pray? He says, when you order your child to pray, and how old is your child when you order them to pray? 7, ya akhwan. It's not some of the people, they take a 2-year-old child and try to make them pray. Prophet ﷺ says 7. 7. Order your child to pray at 7, right? You're going to mention some nice details about this. He said, so this doesn't mean that you say to your child, Salli, pray. He said, rather it means that you teach your child how to pray. You teach them how to clean themselves properly, how to make wudu, and you teach them the prayer. And then for the young boys, you teach them to be diligent in praying in the Masjid and to wearing clothes that are above the ankles. And Yaquan, and some of the people mentioned, some of the people, they ask sometimes, is it obligatory to pray inside the masjid for the men? I don't know. I know it's 27 times better. And if you're going to need that 27 times to cross that bridge, then you may not want to worry about the ikhtilaf if it's wajib or not. But come to the masjid. 27 times better. If your supervisor told you, if you can work from home, and you get your regular salary. If you come in to the job, I'm going to multiply your salary times 27. You be there before he get out the phone. He be on the phone and you be standing right in front of him. Right? 27 times better, ya akhwan. Nah. He said, and you have to teach your daughters about the salat, to pray in their home and to wear proper hijab, and to cover themselves, and to be far away from mixing with men. He says, so when they reach the age of puberty, they will have been cultivated upon that. Now, this is a very good question, ya akhwan, that someone asked Sheikh Suleiman Ruhaili. They said, is it obligatory upon the guardian of the child to order them to make up missed prayers? Right? The small child. So we begin to order the child to pray at 7, right? But you only can spank them for it at what age? 10. So if you have a child that's 7 years old and they miss, and keep in mind, a very important point, is 7 by the Islamic calendar, right? When you're doing with the acts of ibadah, refer back to the Islamic calendar, not the calendar that we use here in the West, right? So if your child misses a prayer, your child sleeps to Fajr at age 7 or 8, is it obligatory upon the parent to tell that child to make that missed prayer up? Yeah. Any younger than 10, if the child is younger than 10, if the child misses a prayer, they miss dua, they miss answer, does the parent have to tell that child to make that prayer up? Okay. The brothers say no. Anybody say yes? Okay, we got ikhtilaf in the masjid. Some say yes, some say no, right? Sheikh Suleiman, he said, it's obligatory upon the guardian to command the child to pray. Based upon the statement, Murru abana'akum bi salat li sab'a. Command your children to pray at age 7. He said this command is directed towards the guardians. It's not directed towards the child. He said, therefore, the correct viewpoint of the scholars is that it's obligatory upon the guardian to command the child to pray when they reach 7, although the prayer is not obligatory upon the child when he's 7. Right? The prayer is not obligatory upon the child at age 7, but it's obligatory upon the parent to tell them the prayer at age 7. He said because the child is not obligatory to pray until they reach puberty. It's not obligatory upon them. He says, so the child is not sinning if he doesn't pray. But if the father doesn't command them to pray, he's sinning. See? The child at 7 is not obligatory upon him to pray, but it's obligatory upon the father to tell him to pray. So if the child at 7 doesn't pray, he's not sinning, but if the father doesn't tell him to pray, he's sinning. Right? He said, so if the child misses a prayer, it's obligatory upon the parent to tell them to make that prayer up. This is not because it's obligatory upon the child. Rather, it's only because commanding the child is obligatory. Naam, to get them accustomed to the importance of the prayer. He says, so the parents cannot be lackadaisical in this.